what I've done is I've picked out what I expect, or what I would like to see is like the starting lineup for England. I'm going to float that in front of Karl, and he's going to sort of bounce back, or he's going to like hit back what he agrees with, a few little talking points that everybody needs to discuss for this international side. Are you up for it, Karl?
Yeah, I hope Chris Hill's the first person on team sheet, mate.
Well, no, one of the things that annoyed me, so Shaun Wane, if you really believe what's written in the press, right, he said, a few people are questioning the inclusion of Chris Hill in the squad, saying, he's 36-year-old now. Is he kind of getting towards the end of it? And he said, first of all, I'm picking everyone based on their performance this year. So I was like, well, why have you included Chris Hill then? Because Huddersfield hasn't performed.
No, they haven't performed
well
at all.
And then he said, no. But what he did last year when he played with an injury around the squad I'm a big fan of. And I'm like, well, that's not this year. So is it based on what they did this year, or have you already got a preconceived idea of who needs to be in there? Anyway, so let's get into it.
My bigger question for that is, are you planning for a team for World Cup here or not? Or are you just planning for a fixture this year?
That's a very good question, because you'd like to think, well, you wouldn't expect someone at 36-year-old to be included in the
next World Cup side. No, so I think it's the wrong move anyway. Well, let's go on to your England team and see where we're at.
Okay, so at number one, by the way, what is your starting lineup? You can stick it in the comments down below, and or if you completely agree with this one, then
you're opening yourself
brilliant.
Up here, mate, big time.
I know. Be kind. Right, number one, Jack Welsby. Wingers, Liam Marshall, Dom Young. Obviously, that excludes Matty Ashton. Do you want to do this position by position?
No, we'll
I'll get through the whole.
I'll let you go through your squad, and then
in centres, I've got Harry Newman in the absence of Jake Wardle.
Wardle. Yeah. Nobody understands that joke, so we've never said it. Anyway,
I've said it a couple of times. Yeah. So I've got Harry Newman in there. I don't think he's done particularly well at Leeds. I think he's been one of Leeds' outstanding performers. I don't think he's the first choice England centre right now. So, but in the absence of everybody else, Harry Newman, and he could prove me wrong. He's got the skill. He could prove me wrong. Herbie Farnworth, exceptional player. So they're the two centres. I've got George Williams, Mikey Lewis. You cannot. Mikey Lewis, current man of steel, but also when you look at some of the additional stats that he's accrued this year, he's got to be included, obviously, with Harry Smith stepping aside. Props, Tom Burgess and Matty Lees. Darryl Clark at number 9. Kai Pierce-Paul and Morgan Smithies as second row. And then Victor Radley as loose forward. And then on the bench, I've got Danny Walker, Junior Nsemba and Morgan Knowles with 18th man because of his versatility, Ben Curry. So that's the side I've gone for, right? Some noticeable admissions. What's your take on it, Karl?
Yeah, you've got no John Bateman in there, have you?
No, I haven't got John Bateman.
Who's going to be the first one on bloody Shaun Wane's team sheet. But I agree with you.
But my point of view is, one, he just seems to have a lot of baggage at the minute. Stuff going on, with the Tigers back in Oz and that kind of thing. So I don't really know about that. 2, all right, he's coming in and he's done a good job for Warrington, but not ahead of some of the other players out there right now in the second row. I could have included him instead of Harry Newman, but he's not like a specialised centre. He can play centre. He has played centre, hasn't he? But I don't think it's his best position. So therefore, that's why I've kind of not included him.
Do you know what? I'm looking at it. It's a pretty solid team. There ain't much I'd change. I know you questioned Harry Newman. There isn't many centres left that you could drop in from that squad. And what I would say about this, Shaun Wane seemed to get the best out of him last year in the Test series. He was probably the best rugby he played last year. He had a few issues, didn't he, like off field and a bit of sulking going on and all the rest of it. But once he put that England shirt on last year, played his best rugby. So I'd stick with that. The other one's Liam Marshall or Matty Ashton. Now, I questioned that straight away. I thought Matty Ashton's probably a bit more of a strike force player. But then when I looked at the stats, Liam Marshall, 27 tries this year. Matty Ashton, 21. So you got to go with form, haven't you? So I agree with you there, actually, as well.
But that's not his only form, is it? There's something else that he's up there.
Top metre maker.
Yeah, he made third in the metres.
3,695 metres he made this year. Top metre maker for a winger is awesome. So no, I'd stay with that. I think Dom Young, right? I mean, the big one is the halfback pairing, isn't it, of George Williams and Mikey Lewis. This is a massive dilemma for Shaun Wane. I think George Williams is always going to start an easy captain. I think he'll play Harry Smith. And I think he'll slot.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about your choice, Karl.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that in a minute.
But you're not. You're talking about Shaun Wane.
I'm going to say I think he's going to start Mikey Lewis on the bench and bring him on. But I agree with you. I think Mikey Lewis should start. I think he's one of England's biggest attacking threats. One of the top try scorers this year. 19 tries, third top try scorer in Super League. To have that and a pretty balanced player now playing against side George Williams. I agree with you. Right, Darryl Clark, no, I'd put Danny Walker in. So I'd change that up.
Why? Based on what?
I think Clark's... I think he's lost a bit of pace. I think Danny Walker's is an edge or two quicker. I think England have got to come out of the blocks quickly in this game. So that's why I'd put him in there. Other than that, mate, I think much I'd change.
What about the bench?
So you got Nsemba I'd keep on the bench. Yeah, Morgan Knowles on the bench.
Cogs are turning.
You've only got 3 subs there. So I'd have Ethan Havard on, give you a bit more. So let's see. Cue the abuse in the comments.
Do you know something I'm really looking forward to? Right, I've got two things I want to carry on with. So the first one is, this is a quick point, but I'm really looking forward to it. The moment that Junior Nsemba comes on the pitch for England. I think the crowd will erupt because he's a massive crowd favourite. And this is where I get a little bit conflicted because I think, no denying, he's an absolute monster and he's performing on the pitch and he's had an amazing season, right? But he's still very young. But he's a massive crowd favourite. That's why I put him on the bench. I think some people would have him on the pitch as part of the starting lineup, but I don't really see that. But I am looking forward to that moment he steps on the pitch because I think the crowd will go nuts because I think everyone backs him.
And I think if Wane plays it careful and the Samoan forwards start to tire and he brings him on at the right point, I think it could be a bit of a game changer. I'm hoping anyway. But yeah, it's interesting and exciting is this test match. But I'm a little bit worried for England.
So here's my second talking point is in regards to Mikey Lewis or Harry Smith or Jerome Luai.
Yeah.
Who do you want? Do you want someone who has the consistency of Harry Smith, almost metronomic, like clockwork? You know what he's going to do. His performance is usually bang on. Very rarely. I mean, we had the people's elbow earlier in the season.
People's elbow.
But very rarely does he kind of get stuff wrong. Kicking was exceptional in the England man of the series last year.
It was great in the grand final as well. Yeah, mate.
Do you want that, or do you want the spark, the unpredictability, the passion from Mikey Lewis?
I want to be entertained, mate.
Are you not entertained?
I want to be entertained, and I just think we throw the kitchen sink at them in attacking play.
Yeah, but being entertained throughout the whole game, I mean, we're up on the scoreboard, then that's where you want to be in it.
George Williams is going to give you a class kicking game and he'll attack the line, right?
I think George Williams will give you an amazing short kicking game. I do worry about...
Harry Smith has a longer kicking game. It's a better, longer kicking game, possibly, yeah. But I'm going with who's going to get me points on the board, mate, and I've got Mikey Lewis, who's one of the top try scorers in Super League. I'm not leaving him on the bench, I'm putting him in. I know that it's controversial, but like I say, I want to be entertained. I want to see England play an entertaining brand of rugby, not robotic. I want to see some great players here. Like,
I've got another question for you. Who's kicking your conversions?
George Williams.
No.
Who's kicking yours?
Would it ever be Mikey Lewis or Harry Smith? But Harry Smith's he's a bit of
we just benched Harry Smith.
Yeah, I know, but if he is,
are you just bringing him back on for kicks like in NFL, in special teams?
I'm saying if he does play, I'd have him kicking, but he's got a terrible record for conversions. I don't think he did particularly well. Mikey Lewis can kick a conversion, can he? But I can't see anyone else really that's going to dink him over.
It's one of your halves, yeah.
So what do you think of that? We're on the whole, we're pretty similar.
Yeah,
there's just a couple of things, but there's some noticeable players missing there, though, isn't there? The likes of
Chris Hill's not in.
Chris
Ashton's missing out. John Bateman, you've got missing out.
Mike McMeekan.
Ben Curry missing out. Harry Smith missing out. We'll be miles off with this, you know.
Why?
I'll bet you. When we come back on next week, we'll have a look at this England team. So the England team that gets picked will be miles off.
Yeah, but it's win-win, isn't it, for us? Because if he plays this side and we win, brilliant, right? If they lose, then we can blame someone else. You know what I mean? He should have listened to us. and if he plays a different side, we can say, well, you should have played the side we said. So we're win-win.
Right, fair enough.